liking, for sharing and commenting and asking questions. I really appreciate all the love and support. I really appreciate the channel boost from you guys. I just want to start off by saying that, just putting that, gratitude into the air and all. Um, but welcome back to the Square of Health. I hope that you guys enjoyed all of the previous videos because what I have coming up is going to be a lot different. That was just the informative part, I guess. I was kind of educating myself, but I felt like it was, cool stuff that I could share. But what I have coming up next is there'll be a lot more interactive videos. I'll be interviewing guests. I don't want to give away too much right now because I didn't want to talk about other things. I wanted to do this video to give you guys a bit of a heads up as to where this whole idea came from and what I'm doing with it right now and what I plan on doing with it in the future. But I also wanted to kind of use it as a marker for my self-growth, just so I could, look back, because I feel like that I've accomplished a lot. I feel like I've grown a lot. I feel like, I've learned a lot over the past year. So I'm just doing this, just to motivate myself, because I know that, I need it. I know that everybody else needs it, and I don't know who could use my story as motivation for themselves, because I I look to previous people before me, and I, motivate my blah, blah, blah. But I look to people, who've done this before me and who went through similar things that I went through, and I use their, their stories and their songs as motivation for myself. But okay, so a little bit of a backstory about the Square of Health. If you follow me on Instagram, which you should be doing already if you're watching this video, but if not, my name on Instagram and Twitter is Good Girl Les, GOODGIRLLES on Instagram and Twitter. Follow me now, pause the video, or do it at the end. Just make sure you do it at some, point in time, very soon, because like I said, I'm doing this to give you guys a bit of a heads up, so make sure you keep up, make sure you stay tuned, make sure you stay tapped in. But so the Square of Health, I spoke about Instagram because if you follow me, you would see that I have a couple posts on there where I speak about it, or I'm not going to say a couple because there's one particular post where I did speak about it, and I spoke about what it meant to me, and I spoke about when I thought of it and all of that. So the Square of Health is an idea that came to me in 2015. 2015 I had a lot going on that year. I had just graduated broadcasting school, and when I graduated, before I graduated, I want to say I was also enrolled in school to get my Associate of Science. So I was doing 2 different programs at 2 times. But January 2015, I graduated broadcasting school. And at the end of it, I went to broadcasting school because I thought I wanted to be on TV. I thought I wanted to be a news anchor. But at the end of it all, I fell in love with my voice. I fell in love with radio, and I was like, I actually think I can do this. So I went and started to record a voice demo. Those poems on my channel, those poems I actually recorded in 2015. I wanted to do, I really didn't know what I was doing, what I wanted to do, but I just, from, like I said, watching other people's voice demos, they spoke about how doing monologues or written pieces would fit really well on a demo. So I took pieces from all Black authors, and I did the voiceovers for them. But somewhere, I don't remember really when, but it was somewhere soon after, I had like an inkling of wanting to be an actress. So I was like, you know what, actually let me go ahead and turn this voice demo into a full-on acting demo. So that's when I started to jot down the notes on how I wanted to react the words of the poem over my voice. But I don't know what stopped me, but actually I do know what stopped me. I was in the middle of making my acting demo. I began to fall in love with acting. And I was, researching, sending out emails, submitting headshots and photos to different producers. And I got this email from a movie producer in New Jersey. Again, if you follow me on Instagram, you will see that I'm posting about it. That I have posted about it. And it was just something really big to me. It was my first speaking role, my first movie role ever, which happened to be a speaking role. And, you know, it was just something very cool to me. So after that, I just dove right into the whole acting thing. And while I was falling in love with acting, I was falling out of love with my first love. So, you know, after all that had happened, after all the dust had settled, I packed up my bags and I moved out of state by myself. It was something completely different. I had never done it before. I was treading completely new territory. But so yeah, I moved on to pursue acting. It didn't really work. I came back home and I tried to pursue it back here, but it really didn't work. So I don't want to say picked up another job, but yeah, I started working again. But something happened. Something has shifted in me once again where I felt like I needed to be somewhere other than where I was. So again, I packed up, left town again. But that really wasn't the answer to what I was feeling. I just didn't know what was going on, but I knew something in me was always shifting. Something in me was always, you know, trying to wake up or trying to emerge. I never knew what it was. So whenever I felt, you know, whenever stuff changed in my life or whenever I felt that difference, I always ran from it and never embraced it. So, but I'll get to that later on. So the second time I moved away, I came back home and I had gotten into another, well, okay, so let me go ahead and give this whole timeline. So I came back home again for the second time in 2017. 2017, I entered another relationship, but it was something different about this one. It was different because before it, I had started reading about spirituality and spiritual connections. So I felt like the next relationship that I had gotten into was an eye opener, and it was my first experience feeling that and all. But and also at the end of 2017, this was an important moment for me. I made a vow to myself. I promised myself that I made the decision because at the end of 2017, I started to understand the power that I had within myself and the power that I had to change the things that I didn't like and to let certain things be if I had no control over them. So at the end of 2017, I made a vow to myself. I promised myself that I would start to do better because I am better and I just know better. I told myself I would start putting more healthy things into my mind, more healthy things into my body. And I just made the promise that I would become better overall. Spring 2018, that relationship went to hell, but it was a very important stepping stone for me. It was a very important marker in my growth because it opened it opened my eyes to me understanding that I didn't have to be places where I didn't want to be, that I could change that I could change the things that I had control over. So in the midst of that whole relationship ending, I just felt I felt very deeply about myself. I wanted to be better because something in me wasn't right. I wasn't feeling right. I wasn't thinking, you know, the best things. I just felt crazy. I felt all over the place. And that's when I had stumbled across that article, which re-sparked the whole idea of the Square of Health. The article basically said that when you're feeling down, you don't always need new things, but you need change the things that are already going on in your life. So, like I said, that sparked the whole, not sparked, but it brought back the whole idea of the Square of Health, which I feel like was perfect timing. I don't know if it has to do with like the guiding of the universe or coming of age or what it was. But had I tried to do all of this back then when I first thought of the idea, it just wouldn't have been as important to me then as it is now. But so, in the midst of the relationship ending, I started to read more. I started to learn about myself. I started to just explore myself and try to understand the people around me, try to understand the things around me, the environment around me, because all of that contributed to my overall health, my physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. So I started to, like I said, just become aware of things that made me feel a certain way. And I noticed that everything played a part, literally everything. Everything that I ate, everything that I drank, the things that I listened to, the things that I spoke up, everything contributed to my health. So I started to become really, I just started to obsess over it. And that's where all of these videos emerged from. But that's just to bring you guys up to speed. Like I said before, that was the informative part, and I just want to thank you guys for sitting and listening, because I know I can become a blabbermouth when I'm talking about things that I love. So thank you. But this, the whole segment that I have coming up next, it'll be more interactive. I'll be interviewing chefs, I'll be interviewing personal trainers, therapists, artists, musicians, scientists, family tree experts, psychologists. So I just have a lot coming up. So that's why I'm doing this video just to let you guys know, to be on the lookout, to tap in and to catch up, because I have so much coming up for you guys. But that's all that I have for right now. I gotta get going. Thank you for sitting and watching and tuning in. Until again, bye guys.